in disaster mode, as despite having the highest payroll in the entire NBA, Phoenix sits at 11th place in the Western Conference. They do not own their first round pick until 2032, and perhaps worst of all, they are getting disrespected on a nightly basis. Did you think Cam Spencer versus Kevin Durant would become a beef?
Spain, here's Spencer for three.
Right to Kevin Durant after he made the shot.
Cam Spencer averages 4.5 points per game, but people have suddenly gotten real comfortable coming at both the Suns and Kevin Durant. However, there is some good news here. It was reported that at the trade deadline, the Suns...
Boy, we done came a long way from KD and that commercial where him and the other three-point shooting greats. How far has KD fell? And I invite you to spend this time with us to see how the Suns and other NBA teams are in complete crisis mode. And let Mike Korzimba tell you, the Dallas Mavericks, we might be on this.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Collateral damage, man. We're not looking too good out here. Wait, all right, welcome back. Have you been trying to stay up to date on all the latest NBA news, rumors, trade, buzz, and just NBA information that you need to know? You're in the one-stop shop for all things, for all that.
And that's facts.
Tried to trade KD, but that he wanted to wait until the summer. And now it has also been reported that a trade Durant, who is still averaging around 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, could be the missing piece on a contender. He could shake up the entire NBA this summer. But the real question is, will he be joined by Devin Booker, who is also now in trade rumors, as the Suns might just completely tear everything down? And to make things even crazier, we might have an all-time NBA summer as LaMelo Ball, rapper LiAngelo Ball's brother, has popped up in trade talks as well. Some say Melo is a star who is stuck in NBA purgatory. Some say he's putting up empty stats on a bad team.
So if you lose a game by 53, they just not even compete.
We could.
And not to mention, a lot of people are saying that LaMelo Ball has never played winning basketball, being carried by Jello, who was the main hooper, and Lonzo, who was the floor general. Man, LaMelo, it's not looking good. They say you're ranking up out here bad, but I seen you hoop. I know you got the bag, my boy. You got a box.
And that's
Could
facts.
very well soon have the answer to that question. So what's up, Mike here? And let's watch this clip together and ask ourselves, does this look like...
Hey, y'all, go follow Mike Korzimba's channel. That way, if he drops a video that y'all want your boy to react to, you can let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Help your boy out, man. We trying to go viral around here. You know what I'm saying? All right, but yeah, go to Mike Korzimba's channel. Like, subscribe, tap in so you can be back in. Tap in here first.
A stable team. Also, if you enjoyed this video, it would be awesome if you subscribed and turn on post notifications, only if you like the content. Now, looking at this clip, turned around, knocked it down.
Hey, what do y'all think about this Mason Plumlee and Steven Adams sumo match? Because from what I can see, Plumlee tried to get a little extra. Steven Adams is one of those gentle giant guys. He just bear hugged him and took him to the ground. So Plumlee did not take Steven Adams to the ground. Steven Adams just fell with Plumlee. Man, Plumlee, you gotta make sure you try. You know what I'm saying? You getting out there with the right people, bro. It's Aquaman out here.
The answer is, of course, no. The Suns are free-falling after failing to make a move at the trade deadline. Time left to go in the season. We not only already have possible trade destinations for Kevin Durant, we have an official asking price. It has been reported that Phoenix wants 3 first-round picks and a young player for Durant, which makes sense because, again, the Suns don't own their own pick until 2030.
Suns, y'all ain't getting that. Man, we, for Luka Doncic, got 1 first-round pick in Max Christie. It's not happening. And then not with the outing that you showed the other night, getting dominated by the Lakers. Luka has put 7 straight 30-point games on y'all, bro. Not looking good. And if I got that stat wrong, charge it to my head, not my heart.
2. They already played their cards here by trying to trade Kevin Durant. There's no going back from that. So they're going to need as many first-round picks as possible from other teams if they're going to save themselves from this current nightmare. If you watch a Suns game, you will notice that the body language is terrible. It does not look like the guys like playing with each other out there. And since February, Phoenix is 5-13.
Hey, man, they say Bradley Beal is out here stealing money on the job. That boy only had about like 6 points last night. And then all I could think about is how Bradley Beal had that commercial where he was talking to the high school athletes, talking about some, ain't none of y'all gonna take my spot because this is between me and you. I'm gonna bust y'all. But Bradley Beal, bro, I'm guarantee somebody in that locker room you was talking to can score at least 5 points.
And Kevin Durant himself has started to lose it.
And I'm gonna tell you what I just saw. Kevin Durant just swung at Carlo. And Carlo's going over to talk to him right now. I don't know how the official missed that.
And here he is just getting right into Chris Paul's face.
Knocked out of bounds.
And Durant and Paul are talking.
Hey, KD, you have to back up, bro. Personal space. It look like you kissed that boy on top of his dog.
Hey, yo!
Well, keep them lips to yourself, man.
Animated fashion.
That basketball breath.
Literally drags De'Aaron Fox in front of him, then says, "Hold me back, bro." I'm just saying. I also feel for Kevin Durant, but really, I feel for Devin Booker even more. Book hasn't complained. He has been a loyal soldier for Phoenix. He has been a winning all-star, one of the best shooting guards in the league, who in 2022, at the age of 25, was not only first-team All-NBA, he was 4th in the MVP voting on a 64-win Suns team.
A quick question. How are y'all feeling about KD and Devin Booker? Are they as good as they used to be? I would bring up Bradley Beal, but Bradley Beal, with his output, with a $50 million contract, not being able to cut the mustard. Hey, boy, ain't cutting the mustard, man. He out here getting cardio and paid $50 million. That boy need to sit down, bro. Real talk.
Hold up. Wait.
$50 million contract and no trade clause. Hey, they say he was doing some things that was strange for a piece of change to get that no trade clause and the $50 million.
Pros describe Devin Booker as one of the most unguardable players in the league because he could truly score from everywhere.
You got courtside seats. Who you going to see?
I'm going to see Devin Booker. I love everything about D-Book.
He can score in a variety of ways.
Book is different. He just loved to hoop, and he crazy.
And this season, he's still averaging 26 points and 6.8 assists per game, but wasn't even an all-star. I think Devin Booker overnight has become one of the most underrated players in the league. Now, if we're being honest here, Devin Booker has long been the untouchable cornerstone that Phoenix has built their teams around. However, if we're also just being real,
if Luka Doncic was untouchable for the Dallas Mavericks, nobody is untouchable. The only person I think is untouchable now is probably Luka Doncic. The Lakers, by choice, are not gonna let Luka Doncic go anywhere. They're gonna make sure he's happy, has everything he needs, except, you know what I'm saying, a live catching big man.
Hold up a minute.
But outside of that, the Lakers gonna make sure they do everything they need. But that doesn't mean Luka will want to stay there. And then you got to think you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Milwaukee Bucks are not trying to let Giannis leave, but if it's up to him, no telling. Drop your comments and thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think one of those two players will leave either LA or Milwaukee?
And that's facts. And that's facts.
Realistic. The Suns now have no path to a championship contender anytime soon. Bradley Beal has a bloated contract here that is weighing them down into absolute mediocrity. Beal has a $57 million player option for the 2027 season, and the Suns are on record as saying they want a young player and picks back for Kevin Durant.
We're not even in
really,
2026
the trade
yet.
buzz around Devin Booker makes a lot of sense here. Personally, I hope this happens because I'm getting Donovan Mitchell vibes here. Donovan Mitchell, of course, was traded from the Utah Jazz to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and now has become the leader on a 55-10 regular season juggernaut this year. Devin Booker might end up becoming that same type of leader somewhere else. This, of course, demands the question, though, where might Kevin Durant and Devin Booker end up? For both of them, the list is extensive. Dallas might want to form a veteran big three of KD, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis to salvage the Luka trade.
All right, for all the Dallas Maverick people in here, stand up.
And that's facts.
All right, is this a combination you want to see in Dallas? With KD showing the other night against the Lakers, I was very disappointed. So therefore, I will be okay on missing on this trade, especially if we have to give up Daniel Gafford, the landlord. Who's going to collect the rent?
And that's facts.
Come on now.
With the hope of having 1 or 2 big playoff runs. That is assuming, of course, that Kyrie Irving recovers fully from injury. After watching what has happened in Dallas, this would be a dream scenario for them, and the Suns could get back someone like Derek Lively, who is a very young and promising player. The Miami Heat have also been mentioned here. They are mentioned in almost every rumor. The problem is they don't really have many trade assets. And I also do not think the Miami Heat are going to be a contender even with KD. The New York Knicks are a wild card to watch, especially if they get bounced in the playoffs early. And the Detroit Pistons and Houston Rockets are 2 young teams in this discussion who might want to look to bring in a vet to hopefully push them to the next level. The Thunder have a chance to do something incredible. Bring Kevin Durant back home to where he started to potentially lock in a championship next season and the year maybe after. The Thunder have tons of picks. They have tons of young trade assets.
All right, so out of this list, who do you think Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns will get the best deal out of? Is it going to be Miami, Philadelphia, Utah, LA, or Dallas? New Orleans, and you got Charlotte in there. Cason Wallace might be included. Cason Wallace on OKC.
Need to make a move as they're not going to be able to pay everyone, and especially if Oklahoma City has a disappointing shoulder. The Thunder are not off the table here for Kevin Durant. My most interesting team, though, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Without Cat, Minnesota has spiraled after making the Western Conference Finals, and KD is Anthony Edwards' favorite player. This would be a pretty seamless fit. KD playing that stretch 4 role while Rudy Gobert is the traditional center down low. And Minnesota has young trade assets. They have someone like Rob Dillingham who could be traded to Phoenix along with those future first-round picks that they want. Now, looking at Devin Booker, the asking price for a book trade is high, for 4 first-round picks and a rising star going into his 3rd or 4th year. Keyword rising star, which does potentially eliminate some of the older contenders here who don't have a rising star on their roster, but the Magic, Pistons, Rockets, and Thunder have all been linked to Devin Booker. The Thunder might try to swing for a home run and pair Shea and Book. Jalen Williams is already on this team though. This would not be a perfect fit. Just being honest, if I was OKC, I would not be looking to trade for another guard. So personally, while it's not a glamorous big market, I would love to see Devin Booker in Detroit. Cade has emerged as an all-star with possibly limitless potential. Asar Thompson is one of the
Hey, and I'm not gonna lie, they have Durant too.
most athletic players in the league. He's an insanely disruptive defensive wing. He's a player who does not need the ball in his hands to be effective. Cade, Devin Booker, Asar sounds like a great starting 1 through 3. Then you have Jalen Durant, who has proven to be a great young big, and Detroit has been one of the NBA's biggest surprise teams this year. Meanwhile, Devin Booker is still young enough where Detroit has the time to take 1 step forward next season and then continue to build up into a championship contender. With the Rockets, it might be a tougher fit with Jalen Green already slotted in at the 2. Maybe Book running the point though could work. I'm not counting them out, and also everything I'm about to say about LaMelo Ball with the Magic applies to Devin Booker as well. Looking at
Okay, so do you want to see KD join the Houston Rockets? Now we're moving on to him in North Carolina. I don't even think KD would look good in their uniforms. Like, I couldn't even picture KD in a Charlotte, North Carolina uniform.
Ball, is he a future superstar?
Let alone a Houston. It's hard to picture him in a Dallas one.
Or is he the king of empty stats? In his first 30 games this season, LaMelo Ball averaged 28.9 points, 7.5 assists, and 5.4 rebounds per game. That stretch included a 50 game against the Bucks in November. LaMelo was starting to get superstar buzz because these are star numbers, plain and simple, especially considering the fact that Melo is just 23 years old. But recently, due to ankle injuries, LaMelo has become a shell of himself just this year. In his last 11 games, he's averaging just 16.5 points, 5.8 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game, giving us a real situation where the Hornets.
So you got the guys at 520 that said, Jeff Teague said, LaMelo Ball, yeah, he can hoop, but he's not a winning basketball player, or he hasn't played winning basketball. So what are your thoughts? Do you think LaMelo Ball, with a change of scenery, will be capable of changing that narrative around him, showing that he is a winning basketball player and he knows how to play the game right?
I beg your pardon.
I said he know how to play the game.
Shots fired! Hornets could get worried and decide to make a move while LaMelo Ball's trade value is still very high, especially because of this. When LaMelo Ball signed a max contract with the Hornets, they saw him as their franchise player, but here's where things get very interesting. That contract was signed under not only a different owner, but different management as well. It has been said that the current ownership and current management is evaluating if Melo truly is a face of a team or if they should just sell high and create their own vision. We just saw this with the Dallas.
Hey, bro, the owners are getting very cutthroat. What is going on in the basketball atmosphere to where all these teams are deciding to cut now and sell high instead of riding on that player you've been riding on for the longest? Even if they're showing potential, it's not always on the players. Some of these situations you organizations find yourself in is because you allowed it to get to this point.
Mavericks. People love to build their own teams, believing that that is the best course of action. And adding on to this, LaMelo Ball has actually been an extreme injury risk of a player. LaMelo played in just 51 games as a rookie. Then in his second season, he played in 75 and was an all-star. But then in year 3, LaMelo played in just 36 games. And in year 4, he played in just 22. Now he's injured again. And so the true dark side of LaMelo Ball is not his flashy play. It is his current inability to stay on the court. To be fair, guys like Steph Curry also had ankle injuries early in their careers and figured it out. But we have also seen injuries ruin players' careers. So LaMelo Ball trade rumors have been popping up for a reason. And according to betting markets, which place odds on everything now, the most likely teams LaMelo could go to are the Houston Rockets, Orlando Magic, Golden State Warriors, and Toronto Raptors. The Rockets.
Out of those options, where do you want to see, or would you like to see LaMelo Ball end up? Maybe pairing him with Steph Curry will allow him to be able to pick up those intangibles a lot of people have identified or stated that he lacks.
This could be very exciting. Melo and Jalen Green in the backcourt, along with Amen Thompson on the wing, would create an even more high-paced, high-flying offense that would seemingly be unstoppable in transition. This trade would have Fred VanVleet going out alongside a guy such as Reed Shepherd. And Reed Shepherd actually might be the perfect trade piece for the Hornets because Reed was the number 3 pick in last
The Hornets ain't gonna have to give up nobody.
year's draft. Many thought that he might have all-star potential potential.
me over
and
here
Reed
like-
Shepard has not had a chance to really prove himself with a very deep Houston backcourt. I'm assuming other players would be involved in this trade as well. Probably Cam Whitmore, maybe Tari Eason as well, although I know that the Houston Rockets and their fans value him very, very much. Really, I feel like the Rockets, if they want to, could make the best trade offer for any of the players we've mentioned. But the Magic especially would be very exciting. Paul Banchero and Franz Wagner have already proven to be an incredible wing duo that has high upside as young players, giving those two guys a playmaking do-it-all point guard.
Hey, when Pablo went down with that injury at the beginning of the season and they said it was an indefinite and the boy came back, hey, shout out, boy. Cause, hey, shout out.
And LaMelo could tremendously raise that team's upside and future. If I was the Orlando Magic, I would try whatever I could to get this deal done, then hope that the LaMelo Ball injuries have been a fluke, because I will admit, those injuries are scary. And there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are
All right, family, I appreciate you for tapping in so you could be back in. If you made it this far into the video, you are a MVP. And I mean that.
And that's facts.
Real talk. Make sure you tap in so you can be back in. Like, subscribe. You do not want to miss the next video that we do. We will be breaking down more of this NBA. Good tea. What's going on around the NBA and everything you definitely need to know. That way you can lead that conversation with your friends or at your job around sports because you are tapped in to the one-stop shop, Lockbox CNT.
And that's facts.
Shout out. Holla.